Life can be tricky. It challenges you to remember where you came from so you can know where you're going. At the same time, it wants you not to get stuck in the past and remain in the present moment. Unfortunately, there's no blueprint for any of this. Life doesn't provide it. But here at the Inner Circle Counseling Show, we can help you balance it all. Welcome to the Inner Circle.
We're live from Inner Circle Studios, broadcasting from the basement of our home office. This is the Inner Circle Counseling Show, where America goes for counseling. What's up, America? I hope everyone is doing well in this December season. It is the holidays, so I'm going to say happy holidays to you and everyone around watching the show. Someone actually, this is a side note, asking me, Miller, why do you emphasize the basement when you do your intro? Inside the basement of our Inner Circle Counseling Studios, that's what I say. And I'm going to actually do a short video on that, but it has something to do with a time in my life where I experienced a lot of pain. So you can relate your pain and your purpose. They go together very well. So you'll see a short on that real soon and be able to understand, why I say I'm in the basement of our home office. I love saying that because it really means a lot to me. And I kind of get emotional about it. And you'll understand why a little bit later. Okay, all that's out the way. Welcome to the show today. We got an interesting show. I've been wanting to do this show for a while, but the topic has been coming up more often. And this is one of those segments. It's kind of a mix. It's kind of like what you should have learned in school and counseling in the news segment. It goes all together. This one is about stop gambling and bet on yourself. Stop gambling and bet on yourself. And you've probably been hearing that term, I'm betting on me. I'm going all in on me, but I want to emphasize the gambling piece and distinguish the two so that as you go through your life and deal with like this different and difficult decisions you have to make, you can decide, is this a gamble or is this a bet? And there's a distinction between the two. But before I get into that, I want to show you, this just came out a couple of days ago, on the very rare occasion, I mean, this is a historic deal. Someone will bet on you. And in this case, Shohei Ohtani, I hope I got his name pronounced right, he just inked a lucrative deal. You can see on the screen, $700 million deal with a baseball team, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And this doesn't happen that often. This is where the external bid on the internal. So someone outside of you bet on you. Now, if you're going to wait your whole life for that to happen, you're probably going to be waiting a long time. If you don't know about him, he's one of the only players that pitches and bats. So usually in our sports in America, you have a specialty. This man can do both. And apparently the Los Angeles Dodgers believe he was worth it. So congratulations to him. We're not him. We're not him. I do this show for the masses, so I want to show you something that's a little bit more plausible and realistic. Check this out.
Welcome back to Sacramento, where the Kings hold an early lead over the Pelicans. Durand is having a career year thus far, and today he was just named Player of the Week in the Western Conference. The Kings and Fox seek a long-term partnership. Never disclosed, of course. I was told that Fox and his agent, CEO of Catch Sports Rich Paul, were presented a multi-year extension offer that they turned down. The terms eligible for Fox was 2 years, $105 million. If he can meet a criteria, eligibility rise for the Supermax, that's what he's looking for. And if he's able to get that criteria, he's looking at a deal around 4 years, $245 million for next summer. So the deal wasn't turned down in bad faith. The Kings knew what they were going to do, but they had to make the offer because they want to see Fox here long term, and Fox wants to be here as well.
Unbelievable. Now, this is an example, what you just saw on the screen of, and I got it on the title, NBA player betting on themselves. And I thought about that. If you have to break it down. So it said he turned down an offer. His team offered him, hey, we're going to give you a little bit money up front, couple years, 105 million. I just did the math. It's down there. That is on a live show. You got to do stuff like this. That is 52.5 million for 105 million. That's two years. And somebody might be saying, are you crazy? You turned that down? Bro, what is wrong with you? He is betting on himself to get a $61 million a year deal for 4 years. Now, on paper, that's only, 8-9 million extra, but he bet on himself for longer term. So why would someone do that? I mean, why would someone do that? You have to almost be crazy to do that. Well, let's look into this. Before we ask that question, let's break this down. You know how I like to do on the show. The title of the show was Stop Gambling and Bet on Yourself. So what does gamble mean? Gamble means to play a game for money or property. That's down there, number one. And if you can see that, I like definition number 2. To bet on an uncertain outcome. So gambling doesn't really make any sense. I mean, you're betting on something uncertain. That's why I say stop gambling and do this. Here's bet. Here's the definition of bet. This is great. You got to kind of follow this one. I had to read this a few times. Something that is laid, staked, or pledged, typically between two parties on an outcome of a contest or a contingent issue. Okay? That's A. That's 1A. 3 down there, it's not quite cut off. You'll be able to see it. A choice made by consideration of probabilities. I love that with A. So what De'Aaron Fox in that last kind of slide on the video was saying, he was saying, look, I'm staking a claim between myself and me and building a relationship with myself that I'm going to bet on myself that I can get this $61 million deal. And I'll say no to the 100 and the 2 years, $52 million each. He looked at the possibilities and made a consideration, that's definition 3, on himself. That's all internal. The baseball player's stuff was external. He didn't get to pick that. Someone chose him. That's very rare. But when you bet on yourself, this is the key for all of us. So let's narrow this down to us common folks who don't have multi-million-dollar deals on the table. If you are able to bet on yourself and consider all the possibilities and make a pledge between you and yourself, the two parties, there's a high probability that you can get this done. So you probably still think I'm crazy. The man turned down $100 and some million for 2 years of work, 82 games of work for 2 years times 2. Why would someone do it? How does someone do it? I want to show you one other thing real quick in terms of how we can do it. And this is NPR. Hopefully you can see that on my screen there. I'm kind of looking with you. Better late than never. Take it from these late bloomers who follow their dreams. There's 2 people I want to show you here. Excuse me as I run through this. I'm going to open this up a little bit. This guy's name is Rick Klingman. I'm going to read his quick bio. In 2019, when I turned 70, the songwriting bug bit me. I always loved music, but never really thought of myself as a songwriter. But today at 73, my song production project called Song Seeds Project has a catalog of 35 original songs. Hold on a second. This dude is 70. Actually, he was 70 when he started this deal, when he started writing. He's 73 today, and he's got a catalog of music. He's not talking about all the millions of dollars he passed up, but he's talking about all the years he's passed up and didn't fulfill his dream. But it didn't matter. At 73, he's got a catalog. So, and there's one other person. There's a few people in here, but this guy, Kenneth Reese, I don't know, maybe the colors reached out to me, his smile. This guy, it said it took me 20 years to make the leap of faith, to chase my dream, which is ironic since I've known what I wanted to do since I was 10 years old. That's deep. That's deep. Knowing something that's embedded in you, waiting to explode. He held it off for 2 decades. What he wanted to do, I'm going to scroll down. He essentially, where is it right here? So I finally gave myself an ultimatum. I got a seasonal 6-month temporary job across the country as an educator at a zoo. The first day of training, I'm 10 to 15 years older than everybody. At the end of the season, he said he was unemployed, but he saw a job posting for someone who was interested in working with birds. So bottom line, hopefully you can see him now. This guy swimming with dolphins, and it changed his life. So my point is, I'm showing people who high socioeconomics, athletes. Sometimes we don't really relate to them, but these are folks in our community that are just like you and me. And they're showing us that we have an obligation to the self, not to gamble. Gambling is frivolous, but to bet on yourself. Bet on yourself. I want you to remember that. Let's go on a little bit. Okay, so this is actually kind of cool. 2024 is on the way. Everyone's making New Year's resolutions. I don't really love those. I want to ask you, how are you going to bet on yourself next year? What can you do to take yourself to the optimal level? Here's some ideas. We're going to rock these and lock in on these. I won't keep you too much longer. Go back to school after dropping out. You know who I'm talking to. Ask that girl or guy their name. You know you've been wanting to talk to them anyway. You know it's been on your heart a long time. Go ahead, bet on yourself. Don't make the team this year, but go to practice in the morning. I dare you. See what happens. Ask for a raise at work. This inflation getting us. It's getting us. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Leave an abusive relationship. On this show, we talk to everyone. No one's excluded. We support you. Bet on yourself. Stop gambling. Start a new business at 65. If you think about it, you probably know who I'm talking about. KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Read that story. Yeah, you thought that was started by some young dude. 65 years old, the Colonel Sanders, they call him. Read the story. Join a club at school. Post a video on social media. I did it. It took me, you don't even want to know, that's another video, but change your major. You know who I'm talking about. It benefited you, didn't it? Yeah, you got a pretty nice job because of that change you made back in junior year. We got your back. Go get your passport. Stop waiting. Go fly. Go. Get out of here. Say no to pressure. Yeah. Say no. Just say no, period. You're always saying yes. I know. Say no. Work hard when no one's watching. We all want our kudos, our pat on the back. Do it when you don't expect it. And I mean, there's a million ways to do this, but lastly, have faith when everyone else has stopped believing. Whew, man, we threw a lot at you. I keep these shows tight on purpose in terms of their time because I really want us to capture the content and let it hit you, let you feel it. And this is one I want you to watch a couple times. That's why I make them short. I'm not trying to use all your time. We're trying to help you here. We're trying to get you across the threshold into a different space, a space that you've been trying to get to for a while, but for whatever reason, maybe fear. I got a video on fear coming soon. Keep an eye on that. Or whatever reason. As you see in this presentation here in the show today, it's never too late. Start today. Start tomorrow. Doesn't matter about time. It's all about timing. And we're here to help you with that timing at the Inner Circle Counseling Show.